Open up the tab on your rotor. Use a straight screwdriver and take out the screw. It's about 4 turns to come out. Next, you'll notice in here that there's a little collar. This needs to come out for the other rotor. And this collar is a compression between this and the housing inside the rotor. This is what holds the rotor in place. The screw basically compresses the guide into the rotor and it seals it. So next you want to take off your track. Note these screws are not captive, so they will fall out. So if you have a grate underneath, you might want to just put a blanket or a cover on top of the grate so the screws don't fall into the grate and you lose the screws. Does happen. When you're changing to a brand new pump head, the screws do come with the pump head, so if you happen to lose one, you still have another set. So you can see in here the 4 screws are at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock position. And a better close-up in here. So you save your screws, put your REM loadsure track away, get your new R2 track. So next, align your R2 track onto the drive. Next, get your 4 screws and install your screws. I usually just start them by hand. As I mentioned, they are 4 screws. I just put them hand tight for now. This also helps in the alignment process. So once you have them all hand tight, just firmly tighten the screw. Usually it takes about 1/8 of a turn. Remember, behind the screws is just an aluminum housing, so you don't want to over tighten them and strip the housing. Next, put your compression shaft sleeve on. Next, grab your R2 rotor. This is the R2 rotor, and it says R2 meaning 2.4 millimeter wall thickness. Then take your straight screwdriver and install the screw onto the rotor. Once you get it hand tight, you just hold the rotor firmly and tighten the screw the rest of the way. Usually it takes about 1/4 of a turn once it's tight. Close the tab. Now you get your continuous piece of tubing. And you would press the pinch clip down here, and this allows you to secure your tubing. Then using the roller guide will help feed the tubing onto the track. So as you rotate it, note the roller guide. Next, lift your other pinch clip and install the tubing on the bottom side. Now double check to make sure your tubing is resting against the track and centered with the thickness of the track. After that, Close your door and press start, and you're up and running. Thank you. Have a great day.